second. Kim Warren gathers it. Great play by Taney. There's strike three.
1, 2, 3, Raptors!
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College for Game 2 of our doubleheader between the Montgomery College Raptors and the College of Southern Maryland Hawks. Michael Brown alongside my partner Marcus Rosano. And in case you're joining us late, you missed a heck of a game in the opener. College of Southern Maryland takes it 2-0 on a no-hitter by Lori Sturgill, number 5, Lori Sturgill. So Southern Maryland going for a sweep in the nightcap, and of course Montgomery College looking to stave that off and gain a split in Game 2. So we are just about ready to get underway. Let's take a look at the lineup in Game 2 for the visitors from Southern Maryland. And, based on how that first game went, both pitchers were very effective. Special Zeno gave up just 2 hits. Of course, Sturgill none, but in the first game, Alexis Clark had an RBI on a sacrifice fly, and Devin Heilmeyer had an RBI on a walk. And of course, surprisingly, I think to Marcus and I both, Special Zeno back out there on the mound in the second game for the Raptors. Marcus, what do you think?
She threw a ton of pitches. I think, what was she up to, 145 pitches? She was 144 pitches. But again, you're throwing your ace. You want to split the second half of the doubleheader, and Coach really feels that this is his best chance to get a game out of here.
So Caitlin Cave leading off for Southern Maryland to start the second game. Our home plate umpire in the second game is Sim Walker, and the first base umpire is Fred Nastri. Of course, he was behind the plate in the first game. So we are underway here in the second game of our doubleheader from the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. And we'll see how much Special Zeno has left. Now, we talked in the first game, Marcus. It's not uncommon for a pitcher at this level and in this game of softball to pitch both ends of a doubleheader. But as you pointed out, her pitch count was pretty steep in the first game.
And you have to credit the Southern Maryland Hawks for running virtually every count to 3-2, thus pushing her pitch count sky high.
Ooh. And she hits Cave with the pitch. So the first batter of the game is on base, and that brings up Devin Heilmeyer.
Ooh, right on the side.
And Heilmeyer, as we pointed out, had an RBI walk in the first game. She was actually on all 3 times up, all via the walk. And she was also caught stealing in the first game. So Caitlin Cave on first base with Devin Heilmeyer at the bat.
Yes, Heilmeyer was really a pest against the Raptors in Game 1.
And she takes another ball.
Comes into this game with 22 walks on the season. Came into Game 1 with 19.
And that ball gets away, and Cave will advance to second. And
not the way Special Zeno wanted to start off Game 2 of this doubleheader.
No, that's for sure.
Especially after her team gets blanked in Game 1 from a no-hitter. You really want to kind of jump out fast, change that momentum that's just built in from just being no hit.
And there's a strike. Yeah, I was on the Southern Maryland bench for a short time between games, and they were obviously feeling very good about themselves.
I'd like to know if this was Sturgill's first no-hitter as a collegiate.
I did not ask that question, but you would not be surprised if that were the answer.
Now all bets are off for high school and her her travel all-star teams,
right?
Because somebody that talented, growing up through the ranks, has no hitters under her belt.
So here we are with a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and that's ball 4. So Heilmeyer continues to be a pest.
Again, this is what we talked about in game 1 with Special Zeno. She walked 8 batters in the first game.
And that brings up Alexis Clark.
At times, her best pitching came when there was basically people in scoring position.
There's a pop-up, and that's out of play. So Alexis Clark, she had the second RBI of the first game for College of Southern Maryland. She picked that up on a sacrifice fly to center field. And she also had a single. So she was probably the most effective hitter in the first game.
And they really only got the barrel of the bat on Special Zeno a couple of times in game 1. It wasn't like she was hit around at all. She just really struggled with the free pass.
Yeah, and that ball gets away. Runners will advance.
We really have to find out what's going on with her hand. In the first game, it was something about her and the umpire were going back and forth about her licking her fingers and then needing to dry them off because you can't go to your mouth and then to the ball and throw it because that's illegal. But we're hearing early right now that she's got a bruise on her hand.
There's a strike.
That's a nice pitch.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, but also 2 runners on and nobody out in the top half of the first. And that ball gets away, and a run is going to score. As Special Zeno clearly struggling here in the first inning. That's going to go down as a wild pitch.
And again, she doesn't have a good grip because when you're
still working on those fingers.
That's 43 feet from the pitching rubber to the base, and when she's throwing them 37 feet, basically bouncing them, you're not picking the ball up to actually. It's all about a release point, and you're releasing it down near the ground.
There's a ground ball. Nice stop by, and boy, what a great play there by Morgan Anderson. Great play. Cut the ball off, got up, and threw Heilmeyer out at the plate, and Taney did an excellent job of blocking the plate.
I can't believe she actually made that play, and that was a pinpoint throw from
look at this play.
Basically behind third base.
Wow. That is a great play
and
by Megan Anderson.
And Devin Heilmeyer connected her right knee to Carrie Taney's right knee. Unfortunately for Heilmeyer, Carrie Taney has a knee guard on.
Boy, that was a heck of a play by Megan Anderson. And let's keep in mind, she was off of her feet when she made that stop. So to scamper up and make an accurate throw. That goes into the highlight reel, that's for sure. There's another ball gets away. And Clark advances to second. There's a pop-up in foul ground, and Kim Warren can't quite get it. Of course, up to the plate is Lori Sturgill, and she was the story of Game 1 as she pitched a no-hitter for College of Southern Maryland to lead them to a 2-0 win. One ball, one strike, one out. We've had a lot of action already.
Oh,
and that hits
gosh.
Sturgill. And obviously, Special Zeno. All right, so the runner was called out. Base runner was called out for leaving early.
Yep.
And Sturgill
So that's
got.
right. That's why there's only one person on base, and Sturgill just got hit right below the kneecap, and that is in a very soft spot, right between the top of the shin and under the kneecap.
Obviously, that was not on an intentional play at all.
Well, the side in purple is going to have to make a decision here about keeping Special Zeno in the circle.
And that brings up Allison McLean. So they put a pinch runner in, and we cannot see her number because she's got a sweatshirt on. And it is number 12. That is, thank you for picking that up. That's Leah Parker is in to run for Sturgill.
Running for Sturgill, Leah Parker.
So there are 2 outs, even though the scoreboard says 1. As Clark was called out for leaving the base early. I'm sorry. Yes, it was Clark who was out for leaving the base early.
And that brings up McLean, who's the most powerful batter in the park right now.
And she takes a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike. She was 0 for 2 in the first game with 2 strikeouts and a walk. High. Two outs and 1 run in here in the top half of the first inning. Pop-up foul out of play.
Wow, that was McLean's pitch right there, and Special Zeno snuck it by her a little bit on the inside half of the plate. Makes it a 2-2 count.
And that's way outside. That gets away. That's a wild pitch. And the runner advances to second. That's Leah Parker in pinch running for Lori Sturgill, who was hit by a pitch right square on the shin. When you throw as hard as Special Zeno, that's got to hurt. And that's strike 3.
Nice pitch.
Special Zeno, after a rough first inning, comes back to strike out McLean to end it. However, Southern Maryland does put 1 on the board, so after a half inning of play, the Hawks are on top of the Raptors, 1-0. And Marcus, let's keep it right here and take a look at the lineup for Montgomery College for Game 2. And you can't say much about what they did in the first game because they were completely shut down by Lori Sturgill. The Raptors only had a couple of base runners in the first game. Kim Warren was on via walk, and Megan Anderson. But outside of that, the Raptors were completely shut down by Lori Sturgill.
Yeah, they certainly were. But it's a different game now. We have Amber Whalen in the circle for the Hawks. And if you look at her numbers, this is a different pitcher, obviously. She's started 12 games. She's 4-7. And these numbers jump out at you. She's got 63 innings pitched, and she's given up 98 hits and 64 runs. So, she's been batted around pretty well compared to, her CSM counterpart, Lori Sturgill.
So we shall see how the Raptors handle it. Obviously, they must have some hits saved up in those bats because the first game was a tough one for them.
And Whalen's probably going to be changing speeds because she does not throw as hard as Lori Sturgill does. So it's going to be important for her to move the ball inside, outside. And, they're going to really put the fielders to work for the Hawks, you would think. And you would hope that the Raptors could actually get the bat on the ball, something they really struggled with against Sturgill.
Well, and we do not. I don't see Sturgill out there. She was slated to be in right field in the second game, so.
And they kept Leah Parker in the.
Yeah, so Leah Parker is now in for her.
Number 2, Megan Anderson.
So Leah Parker replaces Lori Sturgill. And the Raptors ready to get going with Megan Anderson, who made a fantastic play in the top half of the first to save a run for the Raptors, no question about it, and possibly much more. I mean, not only was it a great throw, it was a great stop. I mean, that ball was headed to left field for a single.
I'm surprised she even tried to make the throw to home. But that's basically the only play you had.
There's a pop fly out to short center, and it's gathered in for 1 out. As Cave makes the catch. So 1 up, 1 out for the Raptors. That brings up Taney. So Carrie Taney, the Raptors catcher. And in the first game, she was 0 for 3 in the first game, but probably hit the ball the hardest of any Raptor in her 3 appearances. She thought about that one.
That was a big changeup. You have the really violent windup coming from Whalen, and the ball just comes out of her hand on that change ever so slowly.
That's way outside. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Carrie Taney.
I'd say Carrie Taney probably has the most fun out of any Raptor from what we've seen so far.
There's a ground ball to third. Nice play, but the throw is over, and Taney doesn't hesitate. She just keeps right on going into second base on the overthrow. That'll be a throwing error on Alexis Clark. Hit the ball sharply. Clark had plenty of time. She just, release point was low.
Ball just got away.
Taney didn't even hesitate. She motored into second base. So the Raptors, they never had a runner on second base the entire first game.
That is correct.
That brings up Bridget Gratton.
This is uncharted waters for the Hawks on defense and the Raptors on offense, believe it or not.
So we'll see if something can develop from this. Taney is a very aggressive base runner. Gratton fouls that one out of play. Gratton struck out twice in the first game as the Raptors, only got through the batting order twice.
They've already touched the bat to the ball more times in this inning than I would say that they did in the entire game in Game 1.
That pitch gets away, and Taney trots into third, so the Raptors now with an opportunity to tie this thing up. A runner 60 feet away. Bridget Gratton to the plate. And she is a good run producer for Montgomery College. Good look at Carrie Taney. That ball gets away, and here comes Taney, and she scores the tying run. So Carrie Taney makes her way around the bases and picks up a run to tie this thing up.
You know, Michael, good things happen when you have base runners in this game.
That's for sure. So now the bases are cleared and Grattan draws a walk. So it's already obvious we're going to have a completely different game than we had the first time around. And that brings up Special Zeno. So the Raptors score a run without benefit of a hit.
An E5 turns into a 1-1 game.
Of course, Southern Maryland scored their run in the first game, or in the first inning, without benefit of a hit. So we have yet to see a hit, but we're tied 1-1 as we get a good look at Special Zeno and her third base coach, James Niffenegger, affectionately known as Pops, as we get a visit to the mound there by head coach Jim Cleary. He's in his third season as head coach at Southern Maryland. And it looked to me like just a bit of a motivational chat out there, Marcus.
Or throw strikes.
Yeah.
That's motivational. Throw strikes or else.
Here's Special Zeno. She was 0 for 2 in the first game also. Actually, every Raptor except for those that won. There's a ground ball to third. It's bobbled, and it gets away. The ball is thrown away into right. Here comes Grattan motoring to third. She's into third. So in the first inning, Alexis Clark having a tough time at third base.
That is true. That's actually E5 and then E on the throw. So that's two errors. Because she made the error that wasn't going to get the player at first, and then
should have just pocketed the ball at that point.
Ate it.
Yeah, there's no way she was going to get Grattan at second.
I would say that's a fielder's choice, regardless.
Yeah. So it's an error on that, on the throw rather. And that brings up number 9, Jennifer Valdez. And she was, of course, I could say this for every Raptor. She was 0 for 2 in the first game. And she fouls it off. So the Raptors now with runners on second and third, just one out, one run in already to knot it up at 1.
It makes me wonder if they had just gotten a couple of more, bats on balls in the first game, what could have happened. It was only a 2-0 game. I mean, they didn't get shut out 12-0.
No, it was anybody's game all along. Now she swings through it and misses. Ball gets away. Grattan scores. So that goes down as a strikeout, and I'm sure whether you give that let's take another look at that, see if that might be a wild pitch or a pass ball.
I would say that was a pass ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got I think the bat got in her way.
Right. So Grattan scores. And the Raptors still now with runners on first and third. Susanna Weaver up. And Valdez takes off and easily steals second base. No play to take away the force at second, take away the possible double play, and put runners at second and third. Still with just one out here in the bottom of the first inning. So we've already had more runs in the first inning. We're not even all the way through it Uh, and we're just in the first inning, and we've already had more runs than we had in the entire first game of the doubleheader. So runners on second and third.
You know, I think the Raptors coaches know something about keeping Special Zeno as the game 2 pitcher.
There's a hard shot. And nice catch there by Alexis Clark. She almost got Special Zeno with the tag.
And knowing that Whalen is a different pitcher, they're going to score some runs. They're going to put some pressure, on the offense of College of Southern Maryland. And Special Zeno is your ace, regardless of how many pitches she's at right now. And they obviously felt that that's their best chance to get a Game 2 victory.
All right, that brings up Jocelyn Carter. And she has a chance to drive in a couple of runs here. Anything to the outfield that falls in should score 2, particularly with Valdez at second. She's got great speed. That ball gets away. Here comes Zeno. She scores easily. And Valdez moves up.
And as we've seen, if you get runners in scoring position, you're just one bouncer away from a run.
So Valdez now on third, and Carter with the chance to pick up an RBI. And she grounds it to short. And they call Valdez for leaving the base early. So that is the third or fourth time this afternoon that we've seen that happen. So anyway, after one complete inning of play, the Raptors on top 3-1. And Marcus, I want to go back to our interviews with the Raptor players. I asked them the other day who their favorite softball player was when they were growing up. And we got some pretty interesting answers.
If I had to say a favorite player, maybe it'd be Jenny Finch, just because she was such an amazing pitcher. And I wanted to be a pitcher when I was younger.
Jenny Finch by far. She's everyone's softball pitcher's idol, and you just want to grow up to be just like her, and that's all you could ever wish.
The biggest ones would be Jenny Finch, and then over the summer my team went and we saw the USA team and the USA junior team play against each other, and it was awesome. We got to see Danny Escobedo, and I got a softball signed by all the players, and it was really awesome.
When I was little, I looked up, well, not little, but when I was pitching, I looked up to Monica Abbott. She had such a distinct pitching. She has the way where she like goes all the way down and comes up, and I always thought that was just so weird because for me, I had such a normal pitching, I guess, like I just pitched it, so I always watched her and see what new things she was doing.
Well, Marcus, we're back, and I'm sorry there were no Derek Jeters on that list, but
that's all right.
Pretty interesting responses.
It was Jenny Finch early and often, which is expected. I mean, that's the most influential women's softball player, in the history of the game. She really revolutionized the sport. And you have other players, Kat Osterman is one that comes to mind. But it's a big deal, for these young ladies to see role models like Jenny Finch that they can, pattern themselves after.
All right, we are in the top half of the second inning, and Madison Belke is leading off for Southern Maryland. She did not play in the first game, so this is her first appearance of the day. She is a freshman out of North Point High School. Hometown is Waldorf, Maryland. Ooh. And there's a line drive. Nice play by Megan Anderson, but Jocelyn Carter could not hold on to it.
Yeah, that was a fantastic adjustment that Megan Anderson did, going towards second base, basically into the hole to make a nice throw, a little bit off the mark. She had to sort of stop and reach back.
Yeah, it was a bit wide. It was not an easy chance at all for Carter.
But Either way, playing first base, Jocelyn Carter needs to grab that ball, and there should be one out.
So who would you give the error to there, Marcus?
Being nice, I would say Megan Anderson, but the baseball inside of me says that would be the first baseman's error. So
It's an error.
it's an error.
We'll call it an error.
But we don't have to be the official scorers.
No, thank goodness. We got enough to do.
We can just waffle about whose error it should be.
So anyway, that brings up Whalen, the pitcher, Amber Whalen. She struck out all 3 times she was up in the first game as that ball gets away. Now, we have been told in between innings that Special Zeno has a blood blister on, I believe it was her index finger, on her pitching hand. And that is obviously going to affect the way you grip and release and the ball. That can be painful. And I don't see any pickle juice over on the Raptors bench for her to soak it in.
And it's definitely not hot enough for cabbage under the hat.
There's a nice pitch.
There's other things. And
I remember when Nolan Ryan was breaking in, he used to have trouble with blisters, and he would soak his fingers in pickle juice. Of course, last week was the anniversary of the famous time when Nolan Ryan used Robin Ventura's head as a piñata out on the mound.
What the real story behind that is that they were out of pickle juice, and Nolan Ryan had a blister, and he needed to rub it off.
That's one of the most famous baseball fights ever. Robin Ventura charged the mound. Anyway, there's a wild pitch, and Belke moves up to third base now. So we have one out. Kind of lost track about what was going on there as we took our trip down memory lane.
Yeah, on Robin Ventura's noggin.
And that brings up Jasmine Berry. She is catching in the second game. In the first game, she played center field, and she was 0 for 2.
Nice pitch.
So the sun is starting to make its way down below the horizon.
And we are in the top of the second, and it's already almost 5 after 6. So darkness could play a role here.
It absolutely could. The ball is bright yellow, but I don't think that's going to help them in another hour and 15, 20 minutes. We are lucky that it's been a clear afternoon. There's a ground ball foul down the third base line.
We've had a suspended game on MCTV so far this year when we did the baseball game.
We did.
Up in Germantown on Windy Hill, where I think they believe they stopped it after 4. Because it was a doubleheader, so you only needed to go 4 to be quote-unquote official.
But they didn't make it.
Gosh.
Boy, that ball hit her in the helmet. And that's why they wear the helmet, folks.
Yes, indeed, with a face mask.
And that was clearly unintentional. And they're going to check on the well-being of Jasmine Berry.
You know, I don't want to keep belaboring this point, but she is not healthy right now.
And you can see her looking at that finger.
And she's just beamed somebody in the face, basically. She's taken out the young lady who threw a no-hitter in Game 1 with a kneecap shot. So I got to think about the safety of the players here. It's not Special Zeno's fault, but it's obvious that she's laboring here with her finger.
This would be a tough decision.
And we don't really know. I mean, and she just threw the ball, 8 feet behind.
And a great play by Carrie Altaney to scramble to get it. Tosses to the alert.
What a
special
fantastic
Zeno, and they get the out at the plate. Wow.
Just how they drew it up.
Just how they drew it up. As Belke is thrown out at the plate. Let's see if we can get another look at that. Here we go.
She's quick behind the plate.
She really is. Look how quick she got out of there.
Backhand.
Zeno made a nice pickup, by the way.
That's right.
And they got the out.
And, she just put it back behind the plate. And Special had time to react, basically pick it up off the ground.
And that is the end of the top half of the second. That was a wild half inning. And but after an inning and a half of play, the Raptors on top 3-1. We'll be right back with the Raptors coming up in the bottom of the second after this.
Achievement.
Success.
Life-changing.
Stepping stone.
Ellis Island.
Diverse.
Phenomenal.
Magnificent.
Number 1.
Great.
Super.
It's fantastic.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Amazing.
Helpful. Flexible.
Awesome.
Uplifting.
Welcoming.
Educative.
Affordable.
Dedicated.
Opportunity.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. And
things are getting hectic and frenetic, and we're losing our place, and we've got people getting thrown out on wild pitches.
We've had two runners thrown out at the plate already, and we are in the bottom of the. We're only starting the bottom of the second inning, so it has been a crazy game so far. And now I'm not sure. Oh, we're waiting on Jasmine Berry to get her catching gear on. Apparently, they don't have a backup catcher to take the warm-up tosses from Wayland.
Yeah, I believe, Michael, that we did have another case of jumping off the bag early before that ball leaves the pitcher's hand.
We did. So Barry jumped off. So Barry was called out for leaving the base early. So that was our third out of the top of the second.
So a lot has happened, and it's the bottom of the second inning. I still can't believe that it's 3-1, and so much has happened on the CSM side, and they've got one run to show for it. Some very opportunistic defensive play.
And there's a pop-up in no man's land. Boy,
Nice
what
catch.
a great play there by number 2, Corrine Farrell. Wow.
All right. Chalk one up for the little shortstops wearing number 2.
That's for sure. Look at this play. As
And-
Carter put it, it's a foul. Actually, well, it's hard to tell whether that would have landed foul or fair, but it's a great play regardless by Corrine Fernald.
And she gets a yeah, baby for the camera. And she's going old school and wearing a hat because not everybody anymore, as you can see, wears a hat.
And here's Kim Warren. She pops a foul out of play on the first base side.
All right, thank you. Double doors on the right. The double doors on the right, all right.
So she was one of 2 base runners for the Raptors in the first game. She was 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout for the sophomore co-captain. That ball gets away on the potential third strike, and they cannot get her.
And we've obviously seen a different, battery here today, where the catcher Jasmine Berry was playing in the outfield in game 1, but I just think that there's a different skill set involved here behind the plate.
And that was clearly a pass ball as Warren hustles down the line. That brings up Christine Mabry. So 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Mabry was 0 for 2 in the first game. She skies one out to center field, and she got a bad jump on it. They're going to be able to force Warren at second because she got a bad jump on a ball that was really only a few feet into the outfield.
Yeah, and that wind right now is blowing directly at us, meaning that was pushing the ball away from the center fielder and back towards second base.
Get another look at that one. Off the fists. It was a big swing, and I think that may be what fooled Cave in center. So she had the easy force on Warren, who had to hold because it was a very catchable ball.
She was stuck in no man's land.
So that brings up Megan Anderson, who flew out to center field her first time up and has made one of 2 great defensive plays in this. Well, actually, we've had several defensive plays, but she made a great defensive play back in the first inning to prevent a run.
Well, Michael, I think we're going to need some very quick innings if we're going to get this in by the time it's dark.
I agree with you. And at this pace, that's going to be problematic. There's a hard ground ball off the first base bag. And Mabry rolls into third base.
Well, partner, I would say that's the hit of the game for the Raptors.
Boy, that for sure. As she got all of that one. Hit it right on the button. Got the barrel of the bat on it.
Yep, the ball was up and up around her eyes, and that's a really appetizing. It almost looked like a changeup, but Whalen doesn't throw that hard. So Megan ate that up.
All right, that brings up Carrie Altaney. She got on an error in the first inning and then eventually came around to score on a wild pitch. She lines one down the left field line, but it's foul.
So they're starting to time Whalen a little bit right now here in the bottom of the second inning.
Carrie Altaney, I'll tell you what, when she's on a field, there's almost always a smile on that face. She obviously loves the game. Takes it outside. And Megan Anderson trots into second base.
The old defensive indifference.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can really give her a stolen base on that one. That ball is out. Ooh.
Big time frame by Jasmine Berry. Takes it from 2 feet out over the plate.
Yeah, that was a pretty lenient strike zone there. But it could be that the umpire heard you and you're concerned that we would get the game in. There's a hard ground ball off the second baseman's glove out into right center field. 1 run scores. Here comes Anderson. She scores as Taney with the base hit off the glove and drives in 2 runs.
Now this is a different team.
This is a
different pitcher,
yeah.
but again, a different team.
She hit that ball hard.
The aggression seems to be there again, and I think that they were really guessing a lot, and it just shows how dominating Sturgill was in Game 1.
Boy, it really does.
I mean, I don't know what more to say about it. Maybe they can't be being more aggressive today in the second game than the first.
So 5-1 Raptors as Bridget Gratton comes back up. She walked her first time up and scored. So this is a completely different game than we saw in the first game. So Carrie Taney on first, 2 outs for the Raptors, but 2 runs in. I think a big question for me is how is Special Zeno going to hold up?
Well, she's getting herself a rest right now, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't know if they have tended to that finger. There's a hard
Another
ground
base
ball, and that's going to be another base hit as Gratton singles into left. So the inning continues.
Good things are happening when the bat hits the ball, that's for sure.
And you get runners on base.
You certainly do. And like we said before, so many moving parts in a softball game.
So Special Zeno up. She got on a fielder's choice. There was also a throwing error involved in that play, and as runners moved up, and then she eventually came around to score. So Raptors going to try to keep it going here with 2 outs and 2 on. Zeno pops it up out there, and the second baseman gathers it in for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before the Raptors make it 5-1, and we are going to take a quick break after 2 complete innings of play. You are watching Montgomery College Softball on MC TV.
No matter where you're headed, no matter what your age, you'll find it all here at Montgomery College. Small class sizes, flexible scheduling, over 130 programs of study, award-winning faculty, nationally ranked NJCAA athletics. The possibilities are endless at Montgomery College. Apply today.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. And I hate to be the one to tell everybody this, but my partner, Marcus Rosano, just had to take his leave. Marcus has a young newborn at home who is about to be baptized, and they have baptism class tonight. And, you know, some things take precedent even over MC softball. So I'll be flying solo from here on out, doing my best impression of Vin Scully. So we are ready to start the top of the 3rd. Raptors holding a 5-run lead. They scored 3 in the first and 2 in the second. Special Zeno still out there on the mound, and we're going to be keeping an eye on her for a couple of reasons. One, the pitch count, and the second is the problem that she's been experiencing with a finger on her pitching hand, a blood blister, which clearly has been bothering her. But you know what? She is a tough competitor, and if anybody can pull this out, it is her. All right, so we have Fernald up, and she was at bat at the end of the last inning when Jasmine Berry, who was on second base, left base early. So Fernald is right back up there again to lead off the top of the third against Special Zeno. So she gets another look at Special Zeno. So Fernald is the shortstop, made an excellent play last inning to diving catch of a ball down the line in short left field. The two shortstops have made the great defensive plays of the game, although we had another great one on a pass ball when Taney scrambled back, got it, tossed it to Zeno, and she applied the tag to save a run back in the first inning. So been an exciting game from a defensive standpoint so far, and a lot more offense than we saw in the first game. So count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Special Zeno out there pitching the second game of the doubleheader. She pitched the first game as well. And she walks the leadoff hitter. So man on first now, and that brings up Cave. She was hit by a pitch leading off the game and eventually scored on a wild pitch back in the first inning. Caitlin Cave from La Plata, La Plata High School in Charlotte Hall, Maryland. As we look at the rock, there's a line drive, and that is a fair ball into right field. Here comes the runner around third, and Fernald is scored. And boy, I'm surprised she did not slide. That was a very close play there at the plate. But she picks up the RBI. Cave picks up the RBI with a liner just inside the line down in right field. So 5-2 now. Cave picks up the RBI on the double. Actually, we're going to call that a single, and she moved up to second on the throw. So that brings up Heilmeyer. She walked in the first inning and then was thrown out at the plate. She hits a line drive over the head of the Raptors right fielder. Here comes Cave around to score. And Heilmeyer motors into third base with a triple as she lined it over the right fielder's head. Riva Denera, and drives in Cave. And it's now 5-3. Good look there at Devin Heilmeyer. And that brings up Clark. Alexis Clark.
Okay. Will you be here Friday?
She reached base on a fielder's choice ground out in the first inning and then was called out when she left the base early. And we've had a couple of those calls already. There's a line drive to left field, and that is over the head of Danielle McKenzie. Heilmeyer scores, and Clark easily lopes into second base. So all of a sudden, the Hawks are teeing off on Special Zeno. And that brings up Leah Parker, who came into the game when Sturgill was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. She came in to run for her and stayed in the game. So this is our first look at Leah Parker at the plate. And she takes a ball. So Southern Maryland has very quickly cut the Raptors' lead from 5-1 to 5-4 with some well-hit balls. A triple to right, a double to left. And she goes down swinging. So a strikeout for Zeno. And that'll bring up McLean. And Allison McLean struck out her first time up in the first inning. Alexis Clark on second. 1 out. And there's a pop-up right to the circle. Zeno under it, gathers it in for the out. So 2 outs.
Left fielder, number 16, Madison Belkey.
So that brings up Belkey. She reached on an error in the second inning, but then was thrown out at the plate. There's a ground ball to third. Mabry over to first. Oh, she bobbled it, and she's safe. That ball hugged inside the third baseline, and it did not bounce foul. We get a good look at this one from this angle. Yeah, it stayed fair all the way. Mabry bobbled it, rushed the throw, and then Jocelyn Carter couldn't handle it. So Belkey on by an error. So now with 2 outs, Southern Maryland have runners on first and third. Raptors still on top, 5-4. But it's a pretty precarious lead at the moment. So 2 outs. And Whalen is at the plate. Amber Whalen, of course, the starting pitcher in this game for Southern Maryland. Keeping an eye on Zeno, particularly that hand, but you got to wonder about the arm as well. She's thrown a lot of pitches today, and she walks Whalen. So the bases loaded with Hawks. And that brings up Jasmine Berry. She was hit by a pitch her first time up, as 3 Hawks have been hit by pitches already in this game. We're just in the third inning. Ball inside. So nowhere to put Jasmine Berry, as we have Hawks perched on each of the bases. There's a strike. That'll even the count at 1-1. A little bit low. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the third. In case you're joining us late, Southern Maryland took the first game 2-0. And she swings right through that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. And that ball is fouled back. There's another foul right at the plate. So Jasmine Berry hanging tough. Bases loaded. Nowhere to put her. There's a pop-up, and that's out of play. There's not a lot of foul territory on a softball field, so it doesn't take much for a foul pop to go out of play. So we reset again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded with Hawks. Top of the 3rd inning. Raptors on top 5-4. That runs the count full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And I'm looking at the sky. That sun is going down fast, folks. Another foul back as Berry has really worked this at bat. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and she lost her. So that brings home the tying run, and that'll count as an RBI for Berry.
Number 2,
as Clark scores. And that'll bring up Fernald. And this is her 2nd time up in the inning. She walked to start things and scored. So we're all knotted up now at 5. And there's a strike. Corrine Fernald made an excellent defensive play last inning. Had some good defensive plays already. There's a pitch that gets away, but Caney on it like a cat. Very quick to prevent the runner from advancing. Belke at third base thought much better of that one, as did her coach, Jim Cleary, who's in the coach's box down there at third base. Line drive right back to Zeno, and she catches it almost out of self-defense and to shut off the rally, but not before Southern Maryland puts 4 on the board to score to tie it up at 5 apiece. And we'll be right back with the Raptors coming to bat in the bottom of the 3rd after this. You're watching Montgomery College Softball on MCTV.
No matter where you're headed, no matter what your age, you'll find it all here at Montgomery College. Small class sizes, flexible scheduling, over 130 programs of study, award-winning faculty, nationally ranked NJCAA athletics. The possibilities are endless at Montgomery College. Apply today.
Achievement.
Success.
Life-changing.
Stepping stone.
Ellis Island.
Diverse.
Phenomenal.
Magnificent.
Number one.
Great.
Super.
It's fantastic.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Amazing.
Helpful.
Flexible.
Awesome.
Uplifting.
Welcoming.
Educative.
Affordable.
Dedicated.
Opportunity.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. And before the inning gets started, we want to remind everyone that you can follow the Raptors on social media. On Twitter and Instagram, follow @MC_Raptors. And on Facebook and YouTube, subscribe to /the Raptors MC. You'll get all the latest scores and updates for all of MC's teams, video highlights, and all of our full MCTV sports broadcasts. And our old buddy Mike Simone does a heck of a job keeping us updated on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That guy is out here just about every Raptors game. He's not here today because he's on vacation, a well-deserved one. But Mike Simone, an integral part of our social media presence for Montgomery College sports. So we are all set to start the bottom half of the third inning. Again, Michael Brown with you. My partner, Marcus Rosano, had to take leave for a family obligation. So I'm riding solo here for the rest of the game and looking forward to it. All right, so the Raptors all right, that brings up Jennifer Valdez to lead off the inning for the Raptors. Raptors center fielder. Excuse me. She struck out her first time, but it was a pass ball, and she was safe at first base, but then she was called out later in the inning for leaving the base early. So she had quite an adventure. She hits one out to center field deep, and over the head of the center fielder. She's at second, heading to third, and she's in standing up with a three-bagger. So Jennifer Valdez leads it off with a triple. Get a good look. It just got over the head of Caitlin Cave. She gave good chase, but couldn't catch up with it. So that brings up Susanna Weaver. She lined out to third base her first time up. Hit the ball hard, but right at Alexis Clark. So the Raptors now with a leadoff triple. Susanna Weaver up. The ball gets away, and here comes Valdez. She scores easily, standing up. And we're going to give that one a wild pitch. The ball did bounce in front of the plate. There's Weaver, pops it to right field, and Parker makes the catch for the first out of the inning. And that brings up Jocelyn Carter. She popped out to shortstop her first time up. And she takes a ball. Jocelyn Carter is a sophomore. Watkins Mill High School General Studies major, wants to be a sonographer. That's her number one career choice. If she said if she does not get accepted to the MC sonography program, she will go into criminal justice. The MC sonography program is a very tough program to get into. She tops it on the ground to second base and over for the out. So 2 up and 2 down. I'm sorry, not 2 up and 2 down. 2 outs in the inning. All right, that brings up Kim Warren. Now, she struck out her first time up, but it was a pass ball, and she made it to first base. So she's 0 for 1, but she did reach base. She fouls it back, evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Takes it low. Kim Warren, one of the co-captains for the Raptors. Covenant Life High School. And she takes a strike. Now, when she gets in her batting stance, you can see that she's wearing an armband on her left arm with the number 35 on it. She grounds it to short, makes the play, and nice stretch over there by number 9, Allison McLean, to gather in the throw from Fernald, who also made a nice play. So the Raptors do pick up a run to take the lead 6-5. And we will be right back with the top half of the fourth after this. You're watching Montgomery College softball on MCTV.
With over 3.2 billion people online globally, cybersecurity jobs are in high demand. Montgomery College offers instruction on the latest technology in our state-of-the-art cyber lab. Hands-on experience provides entry-level computer technicians a pathway to enter the workforce or to transfer to a four-year institution. For more information, visit montgomerycollege.edu/cyberprogram.
Montgomery College is a friendly environment.
Great opportunity.
Accessible.
Caring.
Diverse.
Super.
Wow.
Success.
Diverse.
Second home.
Excellent.
Exceptional.
The best.
Simply unforgettable.
Fantabulous.
It's fantastic.
It's great.
Amazing. Supportive.
Essential.
It's unique. Inspiring.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. There's a good look at the new press box at the Raptors softball facility. And we are ensconced inside very comfortably, calling the second game of this doubleheader. In case you joined us late, the Raptors dropped the first one 2-0 on a no-hitter by Lori Sturgill of Southern Maryland, and they lead in this one 6-5 in what has been a vastly different game. Special Zeno, who went all the way in the first game for the Raptors, back out there in the second game. She's into her fourth inning of work in this game. And she's facing Caitlin Cave, the center fielder. She's been on base both times, hit by a pitch in the first, and in the third, she singled to right and drove in a run and also scored a run. So she's actually scored 2 runs so far today in this game. So she's had a good ball game in the second game for Southern Maryland. It's been a vastly different game than our first game. The first game, we barely saw a ball hit into the outfield by either team. Southern Maryland scored their 2 runs via a walk with the bases loaded and then a sacrifice fly. The Raptors hit 2 balls to the outfield the entire first game. And, of course, neither fell in for a hit. So we're in the top of the 4th. We're getting a little bit concerned about the amount of light that we have left. I can still see the sun well up there in the sky, but it is 6:45 now, Eastern Daylight Time. We probably have about 45 minutes or so of good light left. There's a line drive single into right center field. And Caitlin Cave having a big second game. That's her second hit. And that brings up Heilmeyer. She walked her first time up and she tripled her last time up. That triple drove in a run. She also later scored in the inning. She shows bunt, pulls back, ball 1. Devin Heilmeyer. There's a fly ground ball to second. She tags the runner over to first. Double play. And she did. The runner, I think, wasn't quite sure she was tagged, kind of stayed there at second base, made me doubt my call there for a second. But nice play there by Kim Warren. We're going to get another look at that. Hard ground ball. Warren stops it, tags the runner. Throw to first, and a nice play by Jocelyn Carter to dig it out of the dirt for the double play. As Clark came up, Allison Clark came up, and or Alexis Clark, rather, came up and picked up a single while we were talking about the previous double play. So 2 outs now, runner on first. Let's take a look at that single that we missed while we were in replay as Alexis Clark lines it out into center field for a base hit. And there's a swing and a miss. This brings up Leah Parker. Leah Parker came in for Lori Sturgill after she was hit by a pitch. She struck out her first time up, and she strikes out this. She's got one more pitch. She was in a hurry. You've got one more pitch. Leah Parker, another freshman, and there's strike 3. There's strike 3 as Special Zeno shuts him out that inning, and the Raptors maintain their 6-5 lead after 3.5 innings of play. As we're going to get a good look at Special Zeno, we will be right back with the bottom of the 4th inning after this. You're watching Montgomery College softball on MCTV. And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. And we do want to mention that today's doubleheader is the 3rd in a series of MC games we'll be doing this spring. As you just saw, upcoming on April 30th, we'll be back on the Germantown campus for a doubleheader between Montgomery College and Cecil College. And this has been a big year so far for Montgomery College baseball. They are currently in first place in Maryland JUCO. There you see with an 8-0 record, 17-7 overall. They'll be playing Cecil in that doubleheader on the 30th. Cecil is 9-4 on the league. And another great season for this Raptors team. They've won 10 of their last 13. They're hitting .345 as a team. They're led by Chris Heckhouse, who's hitting an amazing .452. They've got some pop this year as well. Pedro Mateo with 6 home runs, Brooks Carson with 4, and then their top pitcher, Harry Thomas, he's 6-0, 6 complete games, and a minuscule ERA of .86. So it looks like another great year for MC baseball. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to the World Series for the 9th time, and Dan Rasher's 11 years there as head coach. And we are into the bottom of the 4th, and Christine Mabry leading off for the Raptors. She had a single her first time up to center field and scored a run. So Christine Mabry, who of course is a 2-sport athlete here at Montgomery College, excellent basketball player for the Raptors. And she lines another single to center, so she is 2 for 2. Hit that one right on the button. So that'll bring up Megan Anderson, who has had quite a good game in the field and at the plate. She is 1 for 2. Her last time up, she singled to right, a sharp single off the bag, and eventually came around to score. So Christine Mabry with a leadoff single. Raptors on top 6-5. As the sun's starting to go down here. There's a ground ball to short. Fernald to second for 1. No play at first. Fernald is an excellent shortstop. We've got 2 really good shortstops in this game. And that brings up Carrie Taney. She's had a very active second game. She got on by an error in her first time up and scored on a wild pitch. And then her last time up, she singled to right and drove in 2 runs. There goes Anderson with the steal, and she's in there safely. So a stolen base for Anderson. Good look at that. Nice replay there by our camera crew. So Carrie Taney now with the runner in scoring position. Way outside. 6-5, Raptors on top. 2 balls, 1 strike to Carrie Taney. He's also made a couple of nice plays behind the plate. Very quick behind the plate. She scampered in the second inning. She scampered for a ball, a ball that got away, grabbed it, tossed it to Zeno. Zeno applied the tag, and the runner was out at the plate to save a run. There's a line shot to center, and that's going to be over the head. And here comes Anderson around to score. Taney coasts into second as Megan Anderson scores standing up. Real sharp hit there by Carrie Taney. So that's the 3rd RBI of the game for Taney. And that brings up Bridget Gratton. She swings and fouls it. Bridget is 1 for 1 on the day. She walked in the first and singled in the second. Amber Whalen on the mound for the the College of Southern Maryland. Ball outside. Bridget Gratton, of course, well known to all of us at MCTV. She's one of our student assistants at the station. Does a great job. Lines it back to the pitcher, but look what I found, and she gets the out at first. She literally did not know she had the ball in her glove until she looked down. Ball was sharply hit by Gratton. And Taney does move to third on the ground out. That brings up special Zeno. And she grounds it to the shortstop. She throws it from her knees. It's going to be late. And Taney scores, so that'll be ruled an infield single. As Fernald did a good job to keep it in the infield. Great play there by Fernald. She just, from her knees, just could not make the throw. So Zeno drives in Taney. And that brings up Valdez, who tripled her last time up to center field. She swings through that one. So that'll be an RBI for Zeno. Valdez tripled her last time up and scored on a wild pitch in the third inning. Ground ball, foul down the third baseline. Jennifer Valdez, one of the sophomores on the team. Superb center fielder. She pops it up to the infield, right in the circle. Whalen under it, gathers it in for the third out. So the Raptors pick up 2 here in the bottom of the fourth to push their lead to 8-5. So after 4 complete innings of play, the Raptors on top by 3. We'll be right back with the top of the 5th after this. You're watching Montgomery College softball on MCTV.
With over 3.2 billion people online globally, cybersecurity jobs are in high demand. Montgomery College offers instruction on the latest technology in our state-of-the-art Cyber Lab. Hands-on experience provides entry-level computer technicians a pathway to enter the workforce or to transfer to a 4-year institution. For more information, visit montgomerycollege.edu/cyberprogram.
Montgomery College is a friendly environment.
Great opportunity.
Accessible.
Caring.
Diverse.
Super.
Wow.
Success.
Diverse.
Second home.
Excellent.
Exceptional. The best.
Simply unforgettable.
Fantabulous.
It's fantastic.
It's great.
Amazing. Supportive.
Essential.
It's unique. Inspiring.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown with you. Almost said alongside my partner, Marcus Rosano, but in case you joined us late, Marcus, who is almost always here with me, had to leave early today because of a family obligation. We miss him, so I'm flying solo the rest of the way, and we are ready to start the top of the 5th. And up for Southern Maryland is Allison McClain. She's reached, she is 0 for 2 so far today. Struck out, and she popped to Zeno. So she's 0 for 2. She was also hitless in the first game. Raptors on top 8-5. The big concern here as we enter the 5th inning is the amount of light that we have left. There are no lights here. There's a pop-up. And it's out of play. There are no lights here at the Raptors softball field, so we have to rely on natural light, and it is fading, folks. It is 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. We probably have about a half an hour of good light left, maybe 40 minutes. So we're hoping to get this one all the way through. There's a hard hit ball to right field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. And McLean motoring around the bases, and she's in with a stand-up triple to lead things off here in the top of the 5th inning. Boy, she got the barrel of the bat on that one. Get another look. Just went down and got it. And nobody was going to get that one. And that brings up Belke. She's been on twice by error. First time up, she tried to score as she worked her way around the bases, but was thrown out at the plate. Great play by Carrie Eltaney and Zeno. So she's 0 for 2. And ball low. So that's the 100th pitch of the game for Special Zeno. Now, when you combine that with the first game, she has thrown well over 200 pitches this afternoon as she walks Belke. She threw about 140 pitches in the first game, so she is almost at 250 pitches for the day, which is pretty amazing, folks. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. And Amber Whalen up now. Southern Maryland threatening. They have runners on first and third, courtesy of a leadoff triple by Allison McLean, and then a walk to Madison Belke. Wayland is 1 for 2. She struck out and walked. Of course, she's the pitcher for Southern Maryland in this second game. There's a foul ball right at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's strike 3. So Whalen goes down swinging, and that'll bring up Jasmine Berry. Get a good look at that fastball from Zeno. Jasmine Berry, the last time up, had a tremendous at bat with the bases loaded. And that ball gets away, and in to score is McLean. That's going to be a wild pitch as McLean scores. Oh, they're calling that a hit batter, so they're going to send the runner back because the ball is dead once it hits the batter. So the bases are now loaded. So it remains 8-5. And that brings up Fernald. She's walked, and she lined out to Christine Mabry at third base. She also made a couple of really nice plays in the field. As we've got a couple of great shortstops in this one. Boy, she lines that one down the right field line, but foul. And looks like the runner on third, Allison McLean, is going to be called out for leaving the base early. There's a argument going on. I have a feeling the guy in blue is going to win it, and he does. And McLean trots off the field. That's the second out, and boy, that's a costly mistake there for Southern Maryland. As we've seen a bunch of those today, that leaving the base early call. So that's the second out of the inning, and umpire is having a little discussion with the Southern Maryland dugout, and he just warned them. Southern Maryland head coach Jim Cleary is also coaching third base, and he was not happy, but the bench has been doing a little squawking apparently, so the base umpire had to quiet him down. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. And there is a strike. And I must have missed something, or maybe the scoreboard was wrong, but that's the second strike. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. And that's low and outside. Evens the count at 2. So deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Raptors up by 2. And the scoreboard's wrong, so it's now 8-5. So forget deuces wild. Deuces are almost wild. And now the umpires are checking the count. So I'm not the only one who's a little bit confused here. All right, count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. She lost her. Zeno really wanted that one. She jumped up and down. So that loads them up again, and that brings up Cave, and she has been nothing but trouble in this game. She was hit by a pitch. She's had a single and an RBI and another single. So she's 2 for 2. Scored a run, has an RBI. Been on each time up. Caitlin Cave, the center fielder. So a big moment here for Special Zeno and the Raptors. There's a nice pitch for a strike. Right through it. Special Zeno, I'll tell you what, she needs a new nickname after this performance today. There's another strike. So she's ahead in the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the pitch. There's a line drive out to right. Reba Danera, it's off her glove. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. She's going to clear the bases. 3 run score. And she's going to score on the overthrow. As Caitlin Cave clears the bases with a triple and then scores on an overthrow to put Southern Maryland on top. What a turn of events. Let's take another look at that. She got all of that one. Off the glove of the right fielder for the Raptors. Here comes the relay. Throw got away, and Cave scored to put Southern Maryland on top now, 9-8. And that brings up Heilmeyer. She hit into a double player last time up. Hit the ball to second baseman Kim Warren. She tagged the runner who was going to second, threw to first for the double play. But Heilmeyer's also had a, in the third inning, had a triple, an RBI triple, and then also scored. So Special Zeno, who thought she had strike 3 on Caitlin Cave, did not get the call. And then a couple of pitches later, Cave lines one down the right field line to clear the bases. There's a pop fly down the right field line, and it falls uneventfully. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. What a turn of events here in the top of the 5th. Special Zeno thought she was out of the inning, and now Southern Maryland is tied, and there is strike 3. So the inning does finally come to an end, but not before Southern Maryland puts 4 on the board to take the lead 9-8, and after 4.5 innings of play, Southern Maryland on top, 9-8. We'll be right back with the Raptors coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th after this. You're watching Montgomery College Softball on MCTV.
No importa a dónde te diriges, no importa tu edad, encontrarás todo aquí en Montgomery College. Clases pequeñas, horarios flexibles, más de 130 programas de estudio, profesores reconocidos, programa deportivo NJCAA clasificado nacionalmente. Montgomery College. Solicita hoy. Más de 3,2 mil millones de personas se conectan en línea mundialmente. Por esto, hay una gran demanda de trabajos en ciberseguridad. Montgomery College te ofrece instrucción en la última tecnología en nuestro moderno laboratorio cibernético. La experiencia práctica proporciona a los técnicos en informática de nivel básico una vía para entrar en el mercado laboral o para continuar tus estudios en una universidad. Para más información, visita montgomerycollege.edu/ciberprogram.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown here with you. And as you can see, the Southern Maryland Hawks have grabbed the lead. First time they have led. They did grab the 1-0 lead in the top of the first, but they have regained the lead now, 9-8 over the Raptors as we get ready to start the bottom of the 5th inning. Susanna Weaver, good shot of her there talking to Brittany Trudeau, one of the assistant coaches for the Raptors, also a former Raptor. Brittany played here a few years ago, was a first baseman, third baseman for MC. There's a good look at Brittany Trudeau. Of course, she's the daughter of the Raptors head coach, Pete Trudeau. So we'll have to see if the Raptors can climb back in it. That was a disappointing inning as they thought that Special Zeno thought she had the third strike on Caitlin Cave, but Caitlin stayed alive, and then a couple of pitches later lined a triple to clear the bases. She scored on an overthrow to give Southern Maryland the 9-8 lead. Big concern now is that we are losing light rapidly. It's 7:15 Eastern Daylight Time, and that is definitely going to become a factor very quickly here. So everybody kind of looking skyward. We definitely should be able to get this half inning in. Weaver swings and misses. She's 0 for 2 on the day. She lined to third, and she flew out to right. Line drive, single to center field for Susanna Weaver to start things out here. Good shot of that. Got the barrel of the bat on that one. It brings up Jocelyn Carter. She's 0 for 2 on the day. Swings and misses. Popped to short and grounded to second. Susanna Weaver at first. Foul back. So Whalen quickly ahead on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Amber Whalen on the circle, as they say in softball. It's an 8-foot diameter circle that is around the mound. That ball gets away. Weaver will advance to second. So the Raptors with the tying run at second. And that's definitely a pass ball. And Carter goes down swinging. That brings up Kim Warren.
Number 3, Kim Warren.
And she is 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Made a couple of nice plays in the field, however. She struck out her first time up, but advanced to first on a pass ball. And then last time up, she grounded out to shortstop. Takes a strike. Ball outside. Oh my goodness, he called that a strike. Wow. That ball had to be 10 inches outside. We're going to take another look. I mean, look how far the catcher had to reach. So Kim Warren. Good look at Amber Whalen. Foul ball down the third base line. Warren staying alive with 2 strikes. Raptors need a run to tie. Get a good look at that armband on Kim Warren's uniform with the number 35 in memory of a high school teammate. And she swings and misses. The ball gets away. She's out at first, but that allows Weaver to advance to third. And that'll bring up Christine Mabry, who's 2 for 2. She's got 2 sharp singles to center field. So Susanna Weaver moves to third on the drop third strike. They do get Warren at first, but Weaver advances to third. So here's Mabry. Pitch is high and outside. Ball outside. Tying run for the Raptors, 60 feet away. We have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Christine Mabry at the plate, and she is 2 for 2 so far in this one. She hits a fly ball out to left center. It drops. Tying run scores as she blooped it out there to left center field for her 3rd hit of the game and her first RBI. Christine Mabry, 3 for 3 in this one. And that brings up Megan Anderson now with 2 outs. And she's had a very active game. She has a single, and she scored twice. She got on last time up. She got on a fielder's choice, stole a base, and scored a run. So she is 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored and a stolen base. We're all tied up at 9. Nine. With Megan Anderson up. And I'm beginning to wonder, folks, if we'll be able to get to the next inning with the light being as it is. So this is actually a very big at bat for this ball game. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Full count. Carrie Taney on deck for the Raptors. There's a ground ball to short. Fernald over to first. Great stretch for the 3rd out, but we are all tied up after 5 complete innings of play as the Raptors, courtesy of a Christine Mabry single, tie it up here. So after 5 complete innings of play, we're all tied up at 9. We'll be right back with the top of the 6th after this.
Achievement.
Success.
Life-changing.
Stepping stone.
Ellis Island.
Diverse.
Phenomenal.
Magnificent. Number 1.
Great.
Super.
It's fantastic.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Helpful.
Flexible.
Awesome.
Uplifting.
Welcoming.
Educative.
Affordable.
Dedicated.
Opportunity.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. We have a substitution for the Raptors. Danielle McKenzie now coming in to play right field for Montgomery College. She played left field in the first game. And, of course, Danielle, another one of the 2-sport athletes here at Montgomery College. She was a big part of the Raptors women's basketball team for the last couple of years. And, of course, she's played softball here for a couple of years. We have quite a few players, quite a few athletes at Montgomery College that play 2 sports, and Danielle is one of them. Christine Mabry, also for the Raptors softball team, is also a 2-sport star. She played on the basketball team as well. So, despite the fading light, we have started the top of the 6th inning, and leading off is Alexis Clark for Southern Maryland. And she's had a real big second game. She's 2 for 3, a single, a double. She's got an RBI, and also scored a run. So she has been a big part of what's going on here for Southern Maryland in the second game. Third baseman. Facing Special Zeno, who is well over 250 pitches for the day. She got 123 to start this inning. And, of course, she pitched the entire first game and threw over 120 pitches in the first game. And there's a strike. And I'll tell you what, she's still throwing hard. My guess is there's going to be a little ice in order when she gets home tonight. There's a fly ball out to left field. Under it is Weaver, and she gathers it in. Nice play by Susanna Weaver, posing for our camera. not sure what's going on here, unless could be the double switch going on. Yeah, we're going to get a pinch hitter coming up here for Parker, and it's going to be number 7, Alexia Banks.
Now batting, number 7, Alexia Banks.
She's going to replace Leah Parker, who replaced Lori Sturgill. Lori Sturgill was hit by a pitch, her first at bat. And strike 1. So top of the 6th inning, we're all tied up at 9. If you joined us late, you missed a no-hitter in the first game as Southern Maryland's Lori Sturgill shut the Raptors out 2-0 on a no-hitter. Walked just one batter. So, folks, that's about as close as you can get to a perfect game. And it's 9-9 here, and the big issue right now is the fading light. You can see the sun starting to set over the physical education building here on the Rockville campus. And that is definitely going to be a concern. If the Raptors get to their half of the inning, if we have enough light there, they will lead off with Taney. It'll be Taney, Grattan, and Zeno. But we've got to get through this half of the inning first. And it's a full count now on Banks. And she loses her. So that'll bring up McLean.
First baseman, number 9, Allison McLean.
I'll tell you what, one thing I've been impressed with Allison McLean is her ability at first to stretch for that ball. She can basically do a splits over there when she stretches. And I think about my old body doing that, and everything rips. I mean, everything. So I watch that, and I think, oh, it'll be 18 again. So Allison McLean, she is 1 for 3. She tripled her last time up, and then she was called out for leaving the base early. And we've had a number of those calls made today. So 2 balls and no strikes to Allison McLean. She swings right through that one. Now, we have not seen any conversations going on between the coaches and the umpires regarding the light, but it doesn't take a scientist to see that we're losing it real fast. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Banks on first. And strike 3. So McLean goes down swinging, and that brings up Madison Belke. And she's been on each time up, twice by an error and once on a walk. She was also thrown out at the plate back in the first inning, cutting off a run. So in some ways you could say that's the difference in the game. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Special Zeno, I just can't say enough about her effort today. She has given obviously everything she has for this Montgomery College Raptors softball team. What a heroic effort out there on the mound. She has thrown over 250 pitches between the two games today. There's a strike. That'll even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Ball outside. Count goes full. Madison Belke fouls it back, stays alive. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 6th. And she lost her. So 2 on now, and that brings up Amber Whalen, the pitcher for Southern Maryland. She's 0 for 2 with a walk. Two on now. And the light is really fading. There's a strike. I'm wondering if they will allow the Raptors to come to bat in the bottom of the half of the inning. And if it's not, it will not be an official game, regardless of what happens here in the top half of the inning, because even should Southern Maryland score, the Raptors, should they call it for darkness, would not have their opportunity in the bottom half of the inning, so it would have to be a suspended game. And that is the end of the inning as the appeal goes through for the 3rd strike of the inning. And so the Raptors hold on there and do not allow a run. Let's take another look at that as she broke her wrists and crossed the plane. So after 5.5 innings of play now, it's all tied up at 9. We'll be back for what we hope will be the bottom of the 6th after this quick break.
No matter where you're headed, no matter what your age, you'll find it all here at Montgomery College. Small class sizes, flexible scheduling, over 130 programs of study, award-winning faculty, nationally ranked NJCAA athletics. The possibilities are endless at Montgomery College. Apply today.
Achievement. Success.
Life-changing.
Stepping stone.
Ellis Island.
Diverse.
Phenomenal.
Magnificent.
Number 1.
Great.
Super.
It's fantastic.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Amazing.
Helpful.
Flexible.
Awesome. Uplifting. Welcoming.
Educative.
Affordable.
Dedicated.
Opportunity.
And welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. Michael Brown here with you. And we are starting the bottom half of the 6th inning in rapidly disappearing light. We're all tied up at 9, and Carrie L. Taney leading things off. The sun has pretty much gone, and we are going with ambient light here. And Carrie L. Taney leading things off for the Raptors. She's been on base every time up in this one. Last time up, she had a RBI double. Time before that, a 2 RBI single. So she's been a very productive hitter. And here she is. Starts with a shot off the third baseman's glove. She's thinking about second. She turns. Here she goes. Safe. She made that little hesitation move and then went for it. So that's a single, and she'll go to second. Oh, the left fielder tripped, and that's why she was able to, she decided to make the move, and she beat it. Got in under the tag. So that'll go as a double, and there's a bunt foul as Bridget Gratton up now. And she is 1 for 2 with a walk. She's singled in the second. So the Raptors now with the winning run, which I would think would be the winning run because of their fading light. On second base, there goes Taney to third. Nobody there. Very heads-up play by Carriel Taney because the third baseman was coming in for a possible bunt. She charged in. Taney took third base, and now she's just 60 feet away from putting the Raptors on top. And she just took off. Heads-up play. Here she goes. Here comes the play at the plate, and she's in. She is safe on a fielder's choice ground ball to third base. I'm sorry, to shortstop. So Taney's daredevil antics on the bases put the Raptors ahead. Gratton punches it to short. Taney did not hesitate. She came in all the way, no hesitation, and she scores the go-ahead run on a fielder's choice. Actually, that's going to go down. Yeah, that'd be a fielder's choice RBI for Gratton. As Taney scores, put the Raptors on top 10-9. And Special Zeno up now. Obviously, they have not decided they're going to finish out this inning. Special hits it to center field. Back is Cave. She hauls it in. Zeno gave it a ride, but Cave had her played deep. So that is the first out of the inning. And that brings up Jennifer Valdez. She's got a triple today. Scored on a wild pitch. She grounds it back to the pitcher. Can't get it out of her glove, but does get the force at second. But Valdez is safe at first. And that brings up Susanna Weaver. So 2 outs now. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Susanna Weaver, who singled her last time up, she's 1 for 3. Also made a fine catch out in the outfield. And she bunts and misses for a strike. We are really losing light here, folks. And there's a strike call. You would really have to wonder if they would bring the teams back out for the 7th inning. I can't imagine that they would. Weaver swings and misses. Throw to first, not in time as Valdez gets back. And that is the end of the inning on the strikeout. And we're going to see what happens here as the Raptors do take the lead 10-9 on the fielder's choice grounder by Bridget Gratton. And they are coming back out on the field, which is kind of amazing considering in order for this to be an official game, they're going to have to play both halves of the 7th inning. And there's no conversation between the coaches and the umpires. So, color me surprised because the Raptors are coming back out on the field. I thought sure they would end the game after 6. It is very dark out there, folks. And even though the ball is neon yellow, it's not easy to see. So here we are. We're going to start the 7th inning. And leading off is Jasmine Berry to face Special Zeno, who is now pitched, well, once she pitches this inning, 14 innings, she has thrown 292 pitches. You heard me right, folks. Special Zeno has thrown 292 pitches today. And clearly, by the time this inning is over, it will be over 300. I've never seen anything like it. And I've seen a lot. And you can fill in the blanks why you think I've seen a lot. But you've seen me on camera, so I think you know what I'm talking about. The 1 ball, 1 strike, top of the 7th inning, and there's a strike. And there's a pop foul back. So Zeno's job is real simple here, folks. She needs 3 outs without allowing a run, and then everybody can go home. Except for the MCTV production crew, who has about 2 hours worth of stuff to tear down and put back in the truck and carry back to the station. And there's strike 3. So that's another strikeout for Zeno, and that brings up Fernald. She's walked a couple of times and lined out and played an excellent shortstop. Very impressed with her. Actually, very impressed with both shortstops today. And that's ball 1. And folks, what you have to understand is it's a lot darker outside than the television pictures that you are watching indicate, and that's due to our excellent engineering staff, led by our ace camera shader, Sam Black. And folks, it's a lot darker than it appears on TV right now. So, through the wonders of video technology, we are able to bring you these images despite the losing light. So, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Special Zeno, what a performance! And there's strike 3. So 2 up, 2 down. And we get make our way back up to the top of the order. And one of the real troublemakers for Southern Maryland, Caitlin Cave, is up. Last time up, she cleared the bases with a triple and then scored on an overthrow. She is 3 for 3. She also reached on a when she was hit by the pitch in her first time up. And there's a strike. So that evens the count at 1-1. Special Zeno. Living up to her first name today, folks, because this is a special performance by a player who obviously has a heart as big as all outdoors. And there's a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on base. Top of the 7th inning, Raptors clinging to a 10-9 lead. And there is strike 3. And the ball game is over as Special Zeno rings up and actually ends the game by striking out the side to give the Raptors the win 10-9. And what a game. And I tell you, our player of the game is Special Zeno. I don't care what anybody else did, but Special Zeno, because of her marvelous performance over the course of 2 games, certainly deserves to be our player of the game. So once again, from the Rockville campus of Montgomery College, the College of Southern Maryland takes the first game of our doubleheader 2-0, but the Raptors come back to take the nightcap 10-9 to split the doubleheader here on the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. For my partner, Marcus Rosano, and everyone on the hard-working MCTV production crew, thank you so much for watching MC Softball on Montgomery College Television.